Welcome to the show. Art can be one of the most expressive languages known to humankind and plays an unmistakable role in drawing together communities, large and small. Tonight, we're pleased to welcome Mary Anne Burke, Executive Director of the Washington County Arts Council. Mary Anne's here to talk to us a little bit about the role art plays in our community. Welcome, Mary Anne.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
So I'm going to start out. Tell us, we had the big Art of Cooking event. Can you tell us a little bit about the Art of Cooking event? And
I would love to. That
Please.
is our major fundraiser. We just completed our 8th year. It's an event that we started with your help some time ago, where we invite people in the community that we call guest celebrity chefs. They share their recipes with the guests at Fountainhead Country Club, and they do a demonstration live broadcasted to the ballroom at the club. And Fountainhead has just been gracious to work with us. It's something they had not done before. And we have chefs looking to be chefs for the following year.
So you've already gotten people asking about
I
next
had
year?
a couple people who wanted to be
Wow.
on the list for next year, and then I have some who during the year couldn't do it this year. So
Excellent.
we can only use 4 or 5 couples. And we begin our meetings in the fall. We usually meet once a month where they come together. On a social basis, we have dinner at the club. They each bring some recipes and as a group decide what they would like to prepare and what course, and we usually reach a consensus pretty easily.
And the food is unbelievable.
It is.
I
Fountainhead does a
actually-
wonderful job.
Yes, they do, and they give you the recipes. I actually made the pumpkin soup, which was one of the featured recipes for Thanksgiving dinner, and it was gone. It was gone.
Y'all making me hungry.
So and we've not had any repeats of recipes. Each couple brings something different. They don't have to be great chefs themselves, but they have a favorite recipe. They show it at the club. The club has little proportions prepared for them that they can show how you mix this and peel that carrot, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the guests are served that food, and the guests go home each year with a cookbook. So
Cool. Awesome.
it is.
Ron, do you have a
It's
question?
been very different, very.
Mary Anne, I've known back when Leba Cohen and some of the Suzanne, the doctor's wife, Suzanne.
Yes. Leba was the second director of the Arts Council.
When they were involved and they had a magazine.
The Antietam Review.
Review that went on. How does the Washington County Arts Council fit into the Arts and Entertainment District, which houses BISFA, which houses the Maryland Theater, and
The Symphony.
will be part, and the Symphony, and then kind of be branching over to the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts. How do you all fit into that? Do you help them with funding? Do you help them
Well, I
with
think
grants?
all the organizations work very well together. You mentioned Leba, she was the second director. She followed Sandy Wantz. And then there have been a couple since then. Barbara Spiker, Burke Spiker
Yes.
went on, and Elizabeth Lay and Kevin Moriarty, and now myself. We all work well together. The Antietam Review was one of the main projects, and that was discontinued before I came to the Arts Council for financial reasons. We just couldn't, the council's board decided they could not sustain that any longer. But we all work very well together. The organizations you mentioned are all part of the A&E Management Board. I have been chair of that for 3 or 4 years. And we have discussions. We meet monthly, bring in speakers, and we all work very collaboratively together. The Arts Council is funded by the state of Maryland, and we use some of that funding to fund local arts organizations for specific projects. I think we gave 14 grants out this year, the theater being one for the Wind Down program, the museum for the school children's exhibit, etc., kinder concerts for the symphony, and I have the whole list here if you'd like them. Additionally, we sponsor some other projects, such as have always been a big supporter and sponsor of Barbara Ingram's School for the Arts. I sit on that board. Again, I was on the board from its inception, and those children are just phenomenal being downtown and bring a lot of life to downtown. They use the Arts Council as a living classroom. They come over to see with their teachers, whether it be pottery or jewelry, or we bring in exhibiting artists to meet with them and talk with them, and often they ask, how can I make a career out of my study of the arts? So we are happy to do that. We fund the Barbara Ingram Summer Academy for children, and
And you
We
have
also
those
had-
great concerts in the summer at,
We are a sponsor of the Music by the Lake concerts with the city of Hagerstown. And there are 4 concerts, and we have bluegrass bands in the summer, although the type of music is subject to change for this year. We're going to talk and maybe change some of that.
In other words, you're well diversified.
Well, we hope so. We also fund art in the school system. It's very important to get, not just in Barbara Ingram. We have grants that the art programs can apply for. Small grants, I admit, but they do help them bring art experience, art teachers to schools, music instructors for something special, for an extracurricular. We last year started, and we have doubled our funding for REACH, which is the cold weather shelter, where we are funding an artist to go in and have art classes during the week. We had a short program last year, and our hope would be to bring photography, although that's much more expensive, to bring that in. And I do have someone interested in doing it. It's just not going to work out this year, but you have to get cameras and processing and software for that. Also perhaps set up a speaker series over there. So we are doing that. Next year, in 2018, we are also going to, we host exhibits and change those every month. And they are juried by artists who look at proposals and decide which artists would be worth it coming in. And we support local artists, so we're not looking for an artist from Colorado or California or DC. We have huge talent in this area. So those are chosen, and we have at least 12 exhibits. Sometimes we double up each month, and we're changing one right now. Friday we open the art educators, the art teachers in the public school system, the private, and HCC will have their work on display. And that was Don Vire, who used to be with the school system, is now at the museum. It was his idea that the teachers should do art. If they're teaching it, they shouldn't just talk about it, but they should produce art so their students can see. And it brings in a lot of people. And then there will be a prize for that. We could get some funding from the Mary Kay Bowman Foundation for that.
I like that. That's really awesome.
That is good, and that we don't jure that. The teachers
Right.
can each bring in 3 pieces, so tomorrow it'll be scrambling to see how it, because it's not cohesive, to see where it will go, and someone from the Board of Education will come down and help hang that. I'm sorry?
So you mentioned bringing life to downtown. So let me ask you, economically speaking, what do the arts mean to Washington County and municipalities?
Well, I think they're very important, and I have some statistics statewide, the latest state report on that, but there are jobs, there are opportunities for artists to produce, to sell. Many of the artists who are in the Arts Council Gallery Shop, which we represent 136 artists right now, books, pottery, jewelry, woodwork, textiles, some of them have no other place to have their work on display and sell, and they keep 70% of the sale price. They set the sale price, but we take care of all the paperwork with filing taxes and things like that, and the 1099s at the end of the year, that kind of thing. So we do that, and we promote them in our newsletter, and I use Facebook constantly.
And where's the store located?
We are directly across from the Maryland Theater at 34 South Potomac Street, and it's a Bowman property.
Okay.
It's the old Walker House, and we have the first floor. Don Bowman and his staff were gracious enough to alter what they had thought were going to be office suites, and we needed the whole space. And it works out very well. We are totally handicapped accessible, which we have not been in our previous location.
So speaking of the store, how do you guys choose which artists you're going to
We have
feature?
another committee.
Another committee.
People who, a small committee, but they send us proposals, they tell us what their art is, they send us an artist statement, their resumes, and JPEGs of their work, and we send this out to a committee. Again, so it's not Mary Anne saying, well, I happen to like this and I
Right.
don't like
Gotcha.
that. So we have a wide variety of pieces, but they're all handcrafted and local.
And they're all local.
And
Okay.
local, I mean Washington County, and we do a 50-mile radius
Gotcha.
for that.
Okay.
So it seems to work pretty well. Biggest issue is downtown retail. There's very little of it now, but I'm sure that's going to change in the near future.
Having you downtown helps.
We have stayed
Absolutely.
downtown. The Arts Council was formed in 50 years ago and was incorporated in 68, and we have always been downtown. When we had to leave our last location, we did look at some other locations and shopping malls, et cetera, which we would have greater traffic, and our board president just said, Mary Anne, where do you want to be? And that was my answer. I wanted to stay downtown. I felt we needed to be part of that, needed to be part of the Arts and Entertainment District. I'm very involved in the Main Street program, and the Arts Council is very involved with the New Cultural Art Trail. And I'm on that committee and the selection.
Mary Anne, how does the Arts Council go about, you said juried, which I've heard that term before. How do you go about selecting which artists are allowed to display in your gallery?
The jurors, for example, we have our December community show, and we have a couple of jurors who will come in. They're artists themselves. They will come in and look at the work electronically. Most places are going electronically. We just don't have, most people don't have the storage or the ability to handle all these submissions, so it's all electronic. And sometimes we're surprised that the piece is much, much nicer than a photo can display. And the committee goes through them, and it takes hours. We've had Ben Jones, noted artist in the area, Benita Keller, a variety of people. Chris Tischer was a juror one year. She's a calligraphist. And they make the decision that's the community show. And then we have 2 other artists, or sometimes 3, look at the proposals for the full year. And we have 2017 all scheduled, and we have proposals for 2018.
Wow.
So we don't have a lot of flexibility, but it's to our advantage, and it's to the artist's advantage to have, so they have it scheduled in advance, so they know, first of all, if they're going to be partnered with someone. Sometimes they don't have enough work to fill our main gallery and have to fill our, use our hall or somebody. They get to know who the other artist is, and we try to pair them up so it'll be an interesting presentation. So we have proposals already for 2018. Among those is Humi Hogan was here this fall when the governor had his cabinet meeting at the theater, and she is going to, with her staff, we're going to work on an exhibit in 2018 with one of her projects is showcasing the disabled.
Wow.
Will that
Not
be in the
sure.
State House or here?
Here,
Oh, here.
Wow. Cool.
very cool.
So
And I did get to go to the State House this year. We
So
were invited, so
I'm-
that was
that
an
is cool.
honor.
So I know you have a newsletter. Can they sign up for that on your website?
They
if they're
can.
interested? And what is the website address?
www.washingtoncountyarts.com. It's a long one, but they can sign up on the right-hand corner. The website has a lot of information. It has information about our staff and our volunteer board, our policies, the 2012 study that the arts community, under the direction of Jim Puerney, the Arts Council's board president at the time, contracted with Anirban Basu, and you were on that committee, and we did a study of the arts in Washington County, and we're hoping to revise that if we can get some funding for it again. We'll see. That's
Cool.
been a project that the A&E Management Board might take, but that's on there. But what gets used so much is called the tab, and they're all art color splashes at the top of our website, our projects, programs and projects, and call for art. We put a lot of call for different artists up there, not just local, but all over, to let our artists in our community know they can enter other calls. And you can go right on that. Our gallery manager is very adept at the web, and somebody can go on that, get the parameters for the call, and fill out the forms online and get it to the jurisdiction that has that. We have photo exhibits. People are looking for photos nationally. The Park Service looks for photos every month. So there's a lot of information on that, in addition to our grants, which we have our community arts development grants, and they will be up midsummer for those. And our arts and education grants, with their small grants. That's all on our website. We have photos, we have news, other arts councils send us news reports, news releases, that we put all that on the website. And happy to do whatever anybody else might have another suggestion.
You're very active on Facebook.
We have an artist registry.
Yeah.
Anybody can sign up and be there and promote their work, and once they're approved, they can put JPEGs of their work, and it helps the artists promote themselves.
Very neat.
And a calendar. We have an arts calendar for the community.
Very cool.
I could go on. I have pages. I have pages, but
Well, Mary Anne, thank you for stopping and visiting
Thank
with
you.
us.
appreciate the opportunity.
We hope that our viewers will go out and check out your site and come in and check out the gallery.
We would love that. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 11 to 5, Saturday 10 to 4, and once a month we are open for shows in the evening, at opening receptions, or by appointment. I'm happy to meet anybody there.
Excellent. So we'll give you the last word on that. Up next, our panel weighs in on President Trump's ban on Muslim immigrants. We're back in 3 minutes. Stay with us.